All right, yo guys, welcome back. I appreciate you checking in. If you're back from previous videos, thank you very much. If this is the first time that you're watching one of these videos, I hope you stick around. I hope you consider subscribing. Go check out my very first video, and that'll explain a lot of what I'm trying to do. I think I also said it in a subsequent video, assuming that it's out, which it should be. But so yeah, I want to talk a little bit about what I want to do to this bike. So again, this is the platform that I have. Okay, this is what I own. This is a 2010 Dyna FXD. I've done some, modifications to it. I sort of embraced I don't know if they call that the blonde or what for some reason I think they call it the blonde, but it's not blacked out like a lot of the bikes are today, which is fine. So I sort of embraced that. I went with chrome accents. But one of the things that, I have done, I upgraded some lighting. I did, I got the chrome. These are Vance & Hines Big Shots. Awesome pipes. I love the way they sound. But that is the stock seat, as you see. The only other seat that I have is a Lepera Bare Bones. And let me tell you guys, the older I get, the worse that seat gets. So I wound up back on the stock seat. But one of the things I've been considering is, I'm just not sure of the aesthetic. I've said before, I really like the sleek, just kind of minimalistic look of this motorcycle. But one of the things that I think, because I'm riding naked, no fairing, nothing like that, I'm thinking that a backrest is going to help a lot, at least a seat that comes up a little bit higher than this stock seat here. There is a product, I've been doing some research, and I don't want to go full-blown seat with the backrest, the big backrest. I don't want to do that. I checked out a seat. It's a San Diego custom seat, but I think it's made by Saddlemen, and it actually has, like, it comes up nice, sort of like the step-up seat, but it also has like not an integrated, but it almost looks integrated, a backrest. If I understand it correctly, it's removable. So I'm wondering if that's going to be a good option, because I also toyed around with the idea, maybe you guys can help me with this. I also toyed around with the idea of changing out the bars. Now, I'm sort of against that, because I like the apes. I like the look of the apes. These are 14-inch Santees. I like them. They're perfect height. I really do like these, and I wish not to get rid of them, but I toyed around with the idea of doing T-bars with a fairing, maybe the Road Warrior fairing, because it comes up pretty high. Now again, tastes have changed. I said in the first video, I hated baggers, never wanted a bagger. If I were to upgrade motorcycles, it would probably be something like that, a Road King Special. For some reason I got in my head I want a Road King Special, but I'm also open to the Street Glide. And as much as I don't like the fairing on the Road Glide, I know the benefits of having that fixed fairing. So I think I just have to test drive them all. At some point I will do that, but for now I'm toying around with the idea, if I change the bars and put the fairing, will that alleviate some of the fatigue riding on the highway? I recently went out with my buddy Gomez. I met him. I've told the story. It's in a couple videos if they've dropped, but I just kind of like hammered up 295 to 195. That's sort of in the middle for us, and just pounding the highway. Even if I ride to work, it's riding on 295, unless I take the back way, which takes a little bit longer, and I'm usually running late, so I kind of have to hammer down the freeway. But I'm wondering, will that even like reduce some of the fatigue that you get on the highway? Will the bars, and I have to change the bars. Somebody would say, well, just throw the fairing on, who cares? If I'm going to go fairing, I got to go T-bar, something like that. That's just kind of the way it is. So the real question is, this seat that I was talking about, the San Diego custom seat with the integrated backrest, I call it integrated because it's not sticking up like a big add-on. It looks built into the seat. It's a really sleek looking, nice looking seat. Obviously I'll throw a picture up. It's a significant investment. This seat is pretty significant. So if anybody has any experience with that, like I said, if I get that seat, because that is a significant investment, I think it's $650, and that's, for me, that is a chunk of change that I just can't sort of willy-nilly spend on a seat if it's not going to give me the desired result. If it gets me the desired result, I'm fine with it. I'll save up and I'll spend the money. But if it's not going to work, I don't want to spend the money. So if you guys have any experience with that, if that's going to really, if you think that that really helps, and I'm not talking about performance, I don't care about being planned. I do not, this bike leans more on the kickstand than it does when I ride it, okay? I'm just more like a cruise. If in a straight line, yeah, I might get on it, but I'm not ripping turns and stuff like that. I'm pretty chill when it comes to riding this motorcycle. But will that reduce the fatigue of highway riding if I keep the bars as they are? If I just continue to ride naked, will that backrest do the job? So if you know that, please let me know. And also, I have some questions about the fairing anyway. Will that fairing, if I put a Road Warrior, let's say, on here, does that really help? You know, will that deflect? I know it'll deflect some, but does it reduce the fatigue? All right, other than that, that's what I wanted to know. If you guys can help me with that, I would really appreciate it. $650 is a big chunk of change to invest in a seat. I also, the other thing I can do, and I know people are going to say this, I still have the stock suspension. All right, I talked about that in my first video. I am thinking about changing out the suspension. I'm probably going to do the springs and the shocks. So that's another question, if you guys can help me out. I'm not cheap. I'm not going to say that. I'm not a cheap person, all right? But I don't want to spend a hell of a lot of money if I don't have to. If I can get a desired result with a decently priced product, I would love to do that. So if you guys have suggestions on shocks, springs, please let me know, all right? So I'm going to end it there. Thanks for checking in. You guys consider subscribing if you want to see more of this. If you want to see some videos about, you know, riding in and around the city of Philadelphia. Whatever I do to this motorcycle, like I said, this is my platform. I got to deal with the platform that I have as of right now. I do have desires to upgrade at some point in the future, but for right now, this is it. I even toyed around with the idea of doing a 110 kit on here. Let me know what you think about that. But yeah, thanks for checking in. I appreciate it. I'd like to get to 100 subscribers if I can. But again, what I really want is an engaged viewership. So if you're recently subscribed, thank you very much. If you're considering subscribing, please do check in every once in a while. I would really appreciate it, and let's get some discussion going. But I really want to know about the fairing. How do you feel about fairings and, you know, apes? How do you feel about the look of that? I personally would change them to T-bars. As much as I wouldn't want to get rid of my apes because I do like them, I would probably go T-bar. And I also want to know about that seat. Check out that San Diego custom seat. It's got, I call it an integrated backrest because it looks really unobtrusive. I really like the sleek look of it, and that's the way I would go. But I want to know if that thing is even going to work. So the whole idea is to reduce fatigue on the highway, you know, high-speed riding. Not high, you know, highway speed, not high speed. Highway speed riding, okay? Anyway, you guys have a blessed day. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for checking in, and we'll catch you on the next one, all right?